Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. Deku didn't just start off the series as a weak quirk user. Much like Asta and Black Clover, he was born with no quirk at all, putting him at a severe disadvantage amongst even the normal non-superheroes around him that happened to be born with quirks, let alone superheroes and villains themselves. And even after receiving the One for All quirk from All Might, he didn't possess, of course, the physical body necessary to withstand its power, having to hold back severely in order to avoid destroying his body while using it. Through training, Midoriya would constantly make strides to increase his overall strength and gain better control and understanding of his power to utilize it better. And once he started unlocking the various individual quirks within him from previous owners, like the Black Whip quirk, for example, he started becoming even stronger. Deku has, come a long way, but the one thing he always had going for him, even from his days as a small child, was his truly heroic heart and his will, his need to help others. This is what has allowed him to constantly grow stronger and stronger and become one of the greatest heroes that Earth has ever known. Coming in at number 5, Naruto. Naruto's story really exemplifies that classic rising to greatness that shonen anime is all about. It's about as true to the genre as it possibly gets. Naruto starts off his self-titled series as anything but exemplary. He lagged behind in class, struggling to graduate amongst his peers, and almost everyone in the village looked down on him. He was seen as nothing but a joke at best and a harbinger of evil at worst. Naruto would come a long way throughout the series, though, not just in terms of physical power, but in the way that other people viewed him as well. He would prove himself and not only reach his goal of becoming Hokage, but finally be accepted within his village as well. By the end of Shippuden, Naruto had learned to use the full power of Kurama, having finally united with him and became one of the most powerful shinobi in the land. Quite the journey from his early days as a class clown. Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. Yeah, I told you there was gonna be a lot of shonen on the list. Ichigo had a really rough run in the series. This kid just never seemed to get a break. Fighting seemed to be something he just couldn't escape from. He lost his mother at a young age, was constantly getting picked on and bullied, and once he got his Soul Reaper powers, as a teenager his life got even more complicated to say the least. Not only did he have to fight, overgrown ghost monsters constantly, but then he had to fight even more powerful beings, from Soul Reapers to Arrancar, Fullbringers, Quincy's, and throughout all of it, he never had an easy time. He was pretty much always the underdog and had to find ways to constantly get stronger in order to overcome. Just the sheer amount of times this guy's been stabbed through the chest, through the back, had his heart ripped out, hands going into his body. It's insane. At the end of the day though, Ichigo was able to harness the true power of every aspect of his heritage that lay within him and became one of the most powerful fighters in the entire series. Madoka Kaname from Madoka Magica. Spoilers ahead here for this one. Going from a timid schoolgirl, reluctant to even become a hero to becoming a full-on god is quite the journey, to say the least. Madoka is pure of heart, something that is severely lacking in Kyubey, who recruits girls into his faction of heroes that protect humanity from witches with complete disregard for their well-being and actually knowing full well they'll most likely all die or become witches themselves. That's just having no heart at all. Madoka makes one selfless act that makes her someone worthy of becoming a truly powerful being when she wishes for witches to cease existing in order for said wish to come true. The entire system of endless bloodshed is completely upended, and Madoka transcends into a literal god in the process. Yeah, that's some serious self-improvement right there. Coming in at second place is Simone from Gurren Lagann. This kid started off the series about as low as you can possibly get, literally. He was, as well as the majority of humanity, forced underground to live as literal cave dwellers, hiding from the beastmen and their powerful gunmen above. Even aside from Simone's less than ideal living situation, he lacked confidence in himself and was scared of the outside world. Had it not been for Kamina lifting lifting him up and teaching him how to believe in himself, Simone would have spent the rest of his life underground, and humanity would most likely have been doomed to remain there as well. Kamina really seemed like the main hero of the series, with Simone acting like his bumbling sidekick. That's what I, kind of thought at first anyway. Spoiler alert here, but this trope is flipped on its head, as after Kamina's death, Simone was forced to stand up and take his place as the leader of the human resistance. And though the position didn't come easy to him, he had his, personal demons to overcome, and he was reluctant to take it on. In the end, Simone would unlock an incredible amount of fighting spirit within him, and he, as well as the rest of Team Daiguren, would fight and overcome the most powerful threat known to humankind. And coming in at the top of the list is Goku from Dragon Ball. Now, I know it may be a bit of a stretch to say that Goku was ever weak. I mean, even as a small child, he possessed superhuman levels of strength, but certainly compared to the overpowered characters we would meet later on, Goku was nowhere near their level when we first were introduced to him in Dragon Ball. Even in Z, Goku had a hard time taking on Raditz. Goku would train in martial arts throughout Dragon Ball and also learned, powerful staple moves like the Kamehameha, but as we would soon come to learn, Goku had even more power within him than we could ever imagine. This guy got so powerful in Z that most of the Z fighters were totally outclassed, especially if they weren't Saiyans. That was just a total write-off. He just kept getting stronger and stronger, reaching near godlike levels even before obtaining literal god powers in Super. This is a character that has risen so high and has been popular for so long that many anime fans still reference him as the most powerful character in the medium even today.